Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Elias Branchereau, and today we're going to be playing Freight Train by Elizabeth Cotten. It's by far my favorite fingerpicking song, and it's quite easy to play, it just takes a lot of time to learn. Elizabeth Cotten was only 12 years old when she wrote this, which is just crazy, but she was a black woman in the early 1900s, so she was forced to put the guitar down and work as a housekeeper instead. She worked for 40 years straight as a housekeeper and moved from family to family until she ended up at the Seegers, a big music family. Maybe you know them. Among others, you know Pete Seeger. He was a big folk musician at the time and he was a friend with Bob Dylan. So he's featured a lot on the movie A Complete Unknown. So when Elizabeth Cotten mentions to the Seegers that she plays guitar, they immediately want to hear her play. And when she eventually does, it goes so well that they decide to record a whole album and they release it that same year. She died in 1987 and her music is still listened to by millions today. So let's learn it. So I thought that for this learning part, we're not gonna do the whole song. We're just gonna teach you the basics and the start of it, so you get hooked and you maybe learn some finger picking. Because I feel like most people are not gonna try to learn this. So instead, just learn this and only learn this part, and it's gonna be great. So the part I want to teach you is obviously the intro. It's the start. So it's, which is super easy. You can learn this. So the whole thing is basically alternating thumb. And you know, when I started learning fingerpicking, I thought I'd had to individually learn this part and then learn this part and then try to mix them together. But you really have to learn both at the same time, and it gets infinitely easier. You know, you don't have to know how to do this separately. If you just know that, oh yeah, you gotta pinch both and then you gotta do this, it's gonna get infinitely easier to just learn both. You don't need to have, they call it like thumb independence or something. You don't need that. So let's get into it. First, you need to set up your left hand. Your left hand, we put all the fingers in for some reason. We start with all the fingers. So little finger on the third fret of the E string, ring finger on the third fret of the low E string, then long finger on the D string second fret, and then index on the first fret of the B string. That's the setup you gotta go for. It sounds like this. Try to get every single note to ring out. Test it like this. Or I didn't get it. Okay. I mean, we don't play the B, we don't play the A string anyways, so you can ignore that one. So what we do is we start by choosing two fingers. This whole part is only going to be played with two fingers. That's how Elizabeth Cotten plays it. Now the rest of the song, I don't play it that way. I use all four fingers here, and Elizabeth Cotten uses two fingers. You can do what you want for the rest, but for this one, we can get away with only using two fingers. So thumb and long finger, that's the one I use. You can use ring finger or index finger. Elizabeth Cotten uses the index finger to do this. So I will then, one thing that's important is your little finger. You got to put it here, and it will stabilize everything, and it is used as an anchor. You anchor it here, so then you don't have to look down and check, what am I playing? You know exactly what you're playing because your little finger is connected to your fingers, so you know, if you know where your little finger is, you know where the rest of your fingers are. But if you're floating here, it's so awkward. Like, I know a lot of my students do this and float around. It's really not good for you. So put a finger here. And what you want to do is pinch the E strings to start with. And then alternate the bass, which is this, the D string. So pinch both E strings, then play the D string. Then pinch the E strings again, but let go of this pinky. So, and then alternate the bass again. Then you want to go pinch the E string again up here, but here you want to move to the B string. And you want to put your pinky on the B string third fret here. You want to move it. So with the pinky, what you're doing is, so it sounds like this now, and you keep alternating the bass. So what what I did there was pinky or index finger first fret of the B string, and pinch the third fret E string and first fret B string. So, or yeah, set up. Alternate the bass again. So this part we'll see later, but the important part is that we alternate the bass, and we keep these two fingers. So top part is. This is just the top part. Lower parts. No, so this is the lower part. So next we actually move the top, these two parts, when we remove this part, this finger. So we only have this one left, and we do B string, E string, pinch. So we remove these two. Alternate the bass again. That was the point of removing the long finger on the bass here. And then you put the little finger on the low E string and the high E string. So you do, and then you put you remove the pinky, and instead of alternating the bass alone, you play the thin one too. So you pinch the D string and the E string, and you put the index finger on the first fret, on the first fret of the E string. So I hope you liked that song and that you get hooked by just the intro. I left a ton of resources in the description so you can learn the rest of the song, because it's really fun. I left a YouTube video that shows how to play it one way, and then ultimate guitar tabs, which is actually how I learned it, and I really like that way of learning it. But it's to each their own, and it's quite easy to learn, so you're gonna get it. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys on the next one.